quiz. Oh, no, that's the other slide, sorry. And tomorrow, Android to surpass iPhone market share by 2012. This came out by Gartner, the Gartner group, 2 weeks ago. They're predicting that Android will surpass the iPhone. You know, if anyone can do it, it's Android and Google. But it's, you know, I still have doubts about how it's going to happen. I've heard some developers talk about Android. Yeah, we are developing one game now, but haven't done so much. What I understand from it is that everyone that does a cell phone that supports Android will be able to customize it for their phone, and might create porting problems, and I hope it won't. That's why it's so fun with the iPhone. The Palm Pre, you see the little question mark there. We are doing actually a lot of stuff with the Palm Pre right now. It's all service-based. All I can say, and it's pretty interesting. It's, you know, some of the top 20 IPs in video games that we're porting to the Palm Pre. But again, it's all service-based. If you've looked at the data, the Palm Pre actually is not seeing good sales right now. And, you know, it's a nice ride. It remains to be seen if it'll work. All right, the quiz. What is the world's best-selling mobile phone? By, what are the numbers? Actually, I think it's 200 million versus 19 million. The answer is, anyone want to take a guess which is the best-selling world's mobile phone? No? Ooh. It's actually the Nokia 1100. So I just wanted to put things in perspective and joyfully remind everyone that porting has been a big issue, and that you need to either have a good porting solution or a good porting partner. But you do still need, in most cases, when you do Java Improve, to support these phones. Games, then. Woohoo! The first, I hope I'm not wrong on that. I researched it a bit, but Snake was actually the first game on cell phones. It was embedded into the Nokia, some Nokia phones anyway in '97. It was Java based, and you know, it didn't need many colors. It was monochrome, and it was fun. So that's how it launched the whole thing. And now you got, you know, I've only shown the iPhone here. I could have shown a lot of things, but this is pretty representative. You got Rock Band, you got, sorry, one of my all-time favorite game, Earthworm Jim, and this other incredible title by a company called Frima, Galaxies. Come on. All right, future. Well, you know, I'm going out on a limb here. What's in the future? And that's like, you know, I removed it this morning, actually. I wrote future, near-term future. I just didn't want to look like a crazy guy, but I actually look it up. Neurosky is a company which I tried the little thing the lady has on there. You can actually control stuff on the screen with your mind, so it's pretty cool. It works now. It's out. Will it become, you know, mainstream? I don't know. Maybe it'd be fun to do it with your cell phone. I don't know how it would go. Of course, connection, I think, will be a big part of the future of mobile gaming. It's something that, strangely enough, that we've been struggling to implement in mobile phones is connection. And, you know, if there's a device that was meant for communicating, it's the cell phone. And interestingly as well, some of the best games on mobile phones and the games that work the best are connected games. And of course, you know, social gaming, EA, all the rumors about EA buying Playdom, I'm sure it's going to play an interesting role in the coming years. Then the publishers, some of the biggest publishers that work there then in the mobile space. You had Humagade and Firma, anyway, a bunch of them. I'm gonna go through them now one by one. Jamdat, now EA Mobile, bought for $680 million, almost 200 million in revenue for fiscal 2009. So that's pretty good. You know, it was a sizable chunk of money, but it seems like it's paying out for them. Excuse me. And actually, the mobile division of EA is generating more revenues than the DS. There's not a DS division, but anyway, from the revenues of DS game, and they do internal and external development. Gameloft, pretty close behind EA, mostly internal development. Gameloft is definitely a very good company to put out pretty good, pretty awesome games. After that, Informa, what happened to Informa? They became hands-on, sold off most of their operations, and I think that was last year throughout the world. In fact, EA bought some of Informa's operation in Korea, if I'm not mistaken. They're now doing portable consoles as well. We're doing one title with them. It's been out in the news last week or the week before, but they're laying off employees, which, you know, is not necessarily a sign that it's going bad. They're rationalizing, trying to make money. THQ Wireless closed the San Diego office last year. Actually, they're doing some iPhone now, restructuring, more things to come. And then Sorent. I actually had to look up the name Sorent because I didn't remember what Blue Mobile was before Sorent. But before Blue, actually. But it was Sorent, changed its name to Blue Mobile, almost 90 million in revenue. They did buy Microspace, which was a company, if I'm not mistaken again, but based in Europe. Superscape recently, last year actually. They went public, and the interesting thing is that they went public at a price which was, you know, decent, $11.50. And they're now trading in the 99 cents range. Internal development, they still have a lot of good things probably to come. Superscape, bought by Glue, Namco Networks, somewhat active. Daughters and Ghouls, as Damer will be able to tell you. Capcom Mobile, but Cosmic Infinity, and that's really what launched Capcom into space, because that company was founded by Matt Gillis. Matt Gillis was the ex-Verizon gatekeeper, the guy responsible for games at Verizon. So, and I removed it from there, but actually Capcom also distributes a lot of the smaller players because of Matt Gillis's ability to get games on Verizon. Player X, but by Zed. We did one title with them actually, America's Got Talent. Player X was bought by Zed late last year, like December, November, actually. Infospace, I don't know if some of you remember them. They were a pretty big company. I think they still are, but they're not doing mobile games anymore. Disney, of course, Airborne Entertainment, sold to for close to 100 million. Bought back for pennies on that, and mostly concentrated on internal development now. Digital Bridges, actually the guys that first gave us our chance in the mobile space. Our first game with them was a game called Pure Spa Racing. It was only a distribution deal, but it allowed us to get money, fund the studio, and start this crazy thing. Got bought by Oberon. They have like a bunch of internal studios now, doing a lot of internal stuff. I don't know if they're doing anything external at this point. And Digital Chocolate, I read something about the fact that maybe they're making 10 million in revenue. That comes from some of the things Trip Hawkins said, extrapolating to the iPhone sales number, and mostly internal development. I found this actually yesterday, pretty nice graph, the 10 top publishers in mobile. You'll see that only 5 of them are in the US. There's some big ones, and actually Namco also is in the US, but probably distributed through someone else. Gmode, I haven't heard of them a lot. Artificial Life, that was a new one for me, and the rest are pretty